Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. I acknowledge I'm on Aboriginal land. I honour the ancestors, both black and white. Welfare reform. What is the Liberal government doing with welfare reform? While I understand the need to balance the books and ensure we do not live beyond our means as a nation, the proposed LNP welfare reforms have many flaws. Work for the dole will be seen as a punishment for not having a job. Work for the dole could be turned into a positive reform. I'm not totally against it, but why not call it steps to success, as a friend of mine, Alex, suggested, which reframes the training and work paradigm. We should base welfare on behavioural and cognitive psychology and real economics where participation is rewarded. We will not need 300,000 qualified tree planters, trees that will die in the next drought, when the jobs are in truck driving, engineering and construction. But yet they have cut TAFE to the bare bones and increased the fees. Engineering will cost nearly $100,000 in HECS fees. A truck licence costs thousands of dollars. Where does a kid with no money at all get that kind of money? Steal it? Commit fraud? I predict a rise in the crime rate and more overcrowded prisons. The Liberals also want people on disability support pension to start to look for work. This in itself is a good idea. For too long, disabled people have been excluded from jobs. However, the access and attitude issues won't go away without effort, and there have been no effort to increase the access or change attitudes. Reducing people's income to the dole level will only exclude and punish disabled people more. I believe in the value of work, shared but conservative values like thrift and discipline and being entrepreneurial. I've aspired to work all my life and sometimes I have found it, but there are barriers such as access, physical access, legal barriers, cultural and attitudinal barriers. Unless many small business owners and managers change their mind about the abilities of disabled people working for them, nothing will change. Disability Employment Services will have hundreds of thousands of clients jumping through hoops, shuffling for paper, waiting for a break to get a real job, which never happens. If they do get a job, they often find they can no longer afford the medication they rely upon while on a minimum wage. Think carefully. There are some jobs in this town that disabled people cannot do, like work in the prison as a warder or join the police academy. I have 15 years farming experience, but no local farmer is going to employ me because I have to do things far more slowly. There are some great employers in this town that do employ disabled people. However, there are other employers who need a quick attitude shift. Intellectually disabled people working in sheltered workshops have millions in back pay owed to them, but the government only wants to pay half of what they are truly owed. Why? Because they are intellectually disabled and they think they can get away with it. And the McClure and Forrest reports are the two main reports suggesting change to welfare. If you believe that welfare reform is important, like I do, politely and respectfully tell Angus Taylor what you think, but be passionate. People like me on welfare may be on the bottom of the heap socially, but we're not going to be trampled on. Get passionate and have your say.